talking through my poster entitled Time Travel in the Classroom, exploring the potential of virtual reality as a pedagogical tool in history lessons. So virtual reality has previously been used in educational contexts, such as teaching students about climate change, Roman architecture, and the phases of the moon, amongst other things. But our research is looking particularly at how the unique features of virtual reality contribute to how useful VR can be in the classroom. In particular, does the inclusion of a dynamic soundscape contribute to better factual recall performance and increased presence and engagement in a VR experience? Presence is the feeling of being there in a virtual space. So what we did was we designed an educational virtual experience in an ancient trading city on the Silk Road. Here you can see some screenshots of what that trading city looked like. And as I mentioned before, the main thing we changed in the two conditions was the inclusion or exclusion of a dynamic soundscape in VR. And this soundscape included the sounds of camels, sheep, and also music. The main three things we measured were factual recall performance using a quiz, and engagement and presence using a questionnaire. We also measured these three moderators: sensory sensitivity, visual audio integration, and embodiment. Embodiment is the experience of feeling ownership and control over a virtual body. VR is a medium which relies on an immersive visual and auditory experience. So you wanted to see how participants' individual differences on these three factors might affect their ability to learn, engage, and feel presence in the VR experience. So what did we find? We found that factual recall performance was high in both the sound and no sound conditions, and there was no significant difference between them. We also found that participants in the sound condition, so where they've got the dynamic soundscape included, reported significantly higher presence, so significantly higher feeling of being there in the VR world compared to the no sound condition. Finally, we conducted a general linear model to explore whether the inclusion of a dynamic soundscape and the embodiment scores predicted engagement. We did find there was significant sound condition embodiment score interaction. Embodiment has a stronger effect on engagement in the sound condition compared to the no sound condition, with higher embodiment predicting higher engagement. So overall, including a dynamic soundscape in the educational experiments promoted an increased feeling of being there in the virtual world. And higher embodiment in the VR experience predicted increased engagement, but only when a dynamic soundscape was included. So our next steps is we want to further explore this impact of increased embodiment on learning by comparing two different hand forms in VR, so realistic hands and non-realistic 3D blocks. Also further exploring the impact of increased interactivity on learning, so giving the participants more objects to manipulate, and also conduct the study on an older age group. Thank you for listening.